Let us settle down, please, and face the front. Right, continue to stand. We're now going to sing number 2, the hymn on the program, Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah. Please ask that you're seated. The rest of the program will run unannounced.
Good morning. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 to 8. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
I can just take this moment to expand on the reading. The dawn of our adult journey is upon us. We find ourselves filled with mixed emotions varying from excitement, uncertainty, and in some cases fear. Fear of the unknown, the uncertainty of what life has in store for us, and the excitement of not only finally finishing high school, but finishing matric in the middle of a global pandemic. I feel for the many future matrics whose parents are sitting in front of me who are going to hear that line a few thousand times. They'll have to be strong because we were strong. and we did it. There were times when things were shaking, literally, and according to the Richter scale at a magnitude of 6.2. But in true Matric 2.0 style, it is what it is. We created our memes, we laughed it off, we took to the Twitter streets with our candles in hand, and we manifested the good vibes and positivity we needed to pull through it all. If that show of strength and endurance and perseverance wasn't the lemons they keep telling us to make from life's lemons, then nothing will ever be. But we know what they say. Tough times never last. Only tough people last. And class of 2020, you have shown to be as tough as nails. At the end of the day, we all face the final stretch of our 13-year school careers. Collectively, we have made it, despite the many challenges that we faced this year. Ours was one of many adversities and disappointments. However, most of all, it was memorable and unique. This year will remain a lifelong lesson and a true testament of our strength and ability to overcome and rise above. And as we take a moment to pause and reflect, may we only take the positive with us. May we be reminded of all the good times, the brighter side, the rainbows in our clouds. And may those good things be the winds beneath our wings that lift us higher to greater heights, higher than we could have ever intended or imagined. From this moment forward, ground yourselves. Enjoy each and every moment. Take up space wherever you are. Know what you're about and be about it. Perstivent met vangen soos soldaatjies. And never let anyone or anything keep you down.
Strength, courage. Don't be timid. Don't get discouraged. God, your God, is with you every step you take.
Behind you,
All your memories,
before you,
all your dreams,
around you,
all love you,
and within you.
everything you'll ever need. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Before the actual proceedings begin, I would like to deliver a prayer that will hopefully inspire us to seek success, not just in these exams, but in all that we do from this point on. If you would please bow our heads. Thixo Nofef, firstly, we would like to thank you for these 12 years of schooling you have given us. Thanks to you, we have not only learned new skills, but we have also been able to stretch our understanding of the world around us. What we now ask of you is guidance through whatever journey we seek to embark on. We lay before you all the hopes and fears we have about the outcome and promise that whatever obstacles we meet on our path, we will never falter as we have you by our side. All this we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Grade 12 learners, parents of grade 12s at home, and the staff of the Settlers High School. This year, we won't be recognizing all the awards we normally recognize at prize giving because COVID affected all our lives and decimated a normally very full school program of sport and culture and academics. Today, we are only awarding a few special awards. Please note, there was no citations this year. So the first group of people I want to acknowledge is the top 10 after the Term 3 trial examinations. I'm going to please ask them to come to the front when their name is announced, and then you will collect your certificate from Ms. Minnie, and then as a group, I ask that we applaud at the end. So in 11th position, we have Carol Chitatse. Can you please come forward? Let's applaud each of them because they... In 10th position, Bukulu Nopoti. In 9th position, Emmer Opperman. Position number 8, Rivka Diedrichs. Position number 7, Danielle Carolus. Position number 6, Joy Square. Position number 5, Iman Schroeder. Position number 4. And I also have to say that from 4 to 11, they all had A aggregates. Position number 4 with 89%, Kabira Livingston. Now for the top 3. All of them have 90% and above. Position number 3, Fagan Lenting. Position number 2, Alex France. And our top learner, top 4 term 3 trial exams with an average of 92%, Avanya Pillay. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our top 11 candidates. Thank you. You can take your seats. Now we go to the special awards. I'm going to ask the recipients to please come on stage, and then they will be handed the trophy. Right, the first award is the Board of Governors Trophy for Academic Diligence. This year, it is awarded to Alexis Kershoff. Come on stage, Alexis. Congratulations, well done. Well done. Alexis? Alexis? Okay. Right, COVID really changes things, doesn't it? The Lewis Trophy for Senior Academic Progress this year goes to Michaela McGregor. Thank you. The Price Waterhouse Coopers Award this year goes to Avanya Pillay. Well done, Avanya. Congratulations. You're going to go down? Well done, Avanya. The Courier IT Shield for Senior Service this year goes to Neo Kleinhans. Well done, Neo. It's okay, you can go down and collect it that side, it's fine. Every year I hand over 2 awards. It's called the Principal Special Award to 2 learners who I deem worthy. And this year, the award goes to 2 people. The first recipient is Joy Square. The second recipient from this matric group is Jared Brown. The Malcolm Fenter Award for Cultural Leadership goes to Kontut Twalo. I've been trying to pronounce Konku's name for days with his help, clearly not successful. Sorry, Konku. Let's give him a one. The Hugo Smuts Trophy for Cultural All-Rounder this year is awarded to Chelsea Camphor. The Stearns Trophy for Sportswoman of the Year goes to Zoe Hutz. The Stearns Trophy for Sportsman of the Year goes to Janino Linda. Let's applaud Janino again. Then we get to the Michael Lee Trophy for the Senior All-Rounder Award. And this year the recipient is Danielle Carolis. So the last award is the Stearns Trophy. It's for the School Ducks. I wonder who that person is. The School Ducks 2020, Avanya Pillay.
Congratulations. Excellent. Well done.
One last round of applause for Avanya. So now we move to the next point on the program. My message to you, the matriculants of 2020. What a year this has been. In future, you will certainly have a story to tell your children. You will be able to say, I lived through COVID. But at the same token, how blessed we are to be gathered here in this venue today, intact as all the grade 12s are here, and all the staff, with no losses to the virus. And yet, we know that beyond this group, we were all affected with losses in our personal lives. And today I'd like to start off by, let us offer a minute of silence and prayer to all the loved ones we have lost this year through COVID and other reasons. Minutes of silence. Thank you. Matric class of 2020, how unique and special you are, because besides the fact that you lived through COVID, you're the first grade 12s ever that never wore uniforms for most of their matric year. You didn't move around from class to class. You didn't fight your way through the crowded corridor. There was no lugging around of heavy books from lesson to lesson. You probably had the smallest class group you ever had. And some of you, I saw, even equipped your classes with plants and kettles and toasters and coffee, etc. And you know, most importantly, don't forget about the special bonds you formed with classmates you would not ordinarily invite into your peer group. Wow, what a year it has been. Traditionally at this valedictory service, there's a quote, an excerpt from a poem written by a fellow matriculant. Her name is Lynn Alexander, and she said, "It is a time to leave my friends who were like brothers and sisters. It is a time to leave the teachers who have become like family to me. It's a time to leave a large part of my soul here at the Settlers High School, for it is here where I truly found myself. Today is indeed a poignant day, as it proclaims a symbolic end to one era and a new, exciting beginning to another phase of your life. Almost 5 years ago, to be precise, we welcomed you on your first day in the Hobbs Hall. I wonder how many of you can remember that day, your first day of high school. You were either very nervous or very excited. And that big school uniform, you know, the one with the blazer was like, almost like a Batman cape. And you moaned, and your parents says you will grow into it. You actually did. And most of you needed another one soon after. Do you recall thinking how impossibly big the school was when you had to find your first classes for that first few days? The new grade 8s actually have directional signage showing them where to find their classrooms. You didn't. Do you remember your name boards? Ladies and gentlemen, the hallways of this school has now become too narrow, literally and figuratively, for the young adults seated before me today. And it's time for you to fly the nest and fly on your own. This year in particular was a unique, challenging, but very special. To the staff, it has been a tumultuous journey, watching how you've developed from insecure grade 8s, hormonal grade 9s, remember, then a little bit more mature in grade 10, and then taking on responsibility and leadership roles in grade 11, and blossoming into young adults sitting here before me today. It's been a transition from dependent children to turbulent, exciting teenage years to the bright, confident, and independent young adults that you have become. COVID hastened this independence because this matric group had to learn online, self-teach, adapt, and become self-reliant in a very short space of time. COVID, especially during the lockdown periods, has ironically prepared you in the best way possible for 2021 and your future. The start of every year ushers in new, fresh, wide-eyed grade 8s, young and eager. And today we celebrate on your last day, mature grade 12s ready to embrace the world, on the precipice of flying off into their own future, uncertain of what lies ahead, yet confident that they can meet any challenge they might encounter. The reality of the situation is that as you step into the real world, the world of studies and the working world, you've just spent 12 years at school, learning lots of information, for in all likelihood, jobs that don't exist, technology that doesn't exist yet, and solving problems that we don't know exist. Your generation will have to solve the realities of superviruses and diseases that paralyze the world, climate change and its associated problems, the continuing refugee and migrant crisis in the world, terrorist attacks, the reality of artificial intelligence and the related ethical issues, living in a global community like we did this year. You can actually work in South Africa, but have a digital nomad passport and actually live in Barbados or Bermuda. The reality of living in Mars, and some of you might actually do that. You know, the irony is, I mentioned some of these issues in my 2019 valedictory speech. And as I reflect, I realize just how much more prominent and real these issues have become 1 year later. Now it comes to my parting advice. Only 6 points this year. 1, remember the story we tell in grade 8 when they start here about the burger. You have finally made it, you're now the patty. Not the salt you started off being. But guess what? You start your life in the big world by being the salt again. And there will be many times in your life where you will start off as the salt over and over again. And the lesson to be learned from this is that never be afraid to learn or start something new. Become a lifelong learner. And just by the way, you do know that salt brings the flavor. And you are certainly the wildest, the craziest salt we've had in a long while. Advice on point number 2. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity and say only what you mean. Avoid using words against yourself or gossip about others. Advice point number 3. Don't take anything personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are resistant to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of unnecessary suffering. Point number 4. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and the inevitable drama. Number 5, always do your best. Under any circumstances, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. And the last point, be skeptical, but listen. Don't believe yourself or anybody else unconditionally. Use the power of doubt to question what you hear. Is this really the truth? Listen to the intent behind the words, and you will understand the real message. These words or agreements are particularly profound in the world we live in today. Fake news, social media influences. Ask the questions that needed to be asked before you believe something to be true. Well, it's almost the end of what I want to say. It's now time to say a few thank yous. To the learner leadership of the school, I wish to take this opportunity to thank you publicly for all the work done this year and all the work you planned to do, but COVID came in the way. To the RCL and the leadership of Mafu, assisted by Lisa and Bukulu, the prefect party and the leadership of Fagan and Danielle, assisted by Kunkun and Joy. Thank you for your leadership. We are proud of the legacy you left behind. At this point, it's important we acknowledge the contribution of the coordinating grade 8, Mr. Neva. Sir, thank you for your dedication and a job well done, especially during this difficult and complicated year of unknowns. To the other grade 8s, Mrs. DeToy, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Willis, your pre-COVID class teachers, your COVID class teachers, and all the teachers who taught you along the way, each one contributed to the development of this very special group of young people. To the grade 12 parent body, my sincere apologies that you could not join us today due to COVID protocols and physically we couldn't accommodate you with us. Nevertheless, we wish to extend a special thank you for your unwavering support during the last 5 years and more so in this last difficult year. As you join us online today, you see the product of your sacrifices and I wish to acknowledge your contribution. Grade 12s, join me in acknowledging your parents and guardians and the role they played in getting you to this point in your life. Matrix, when you get home, say a profound and a meaningful thank you. Lastly, grade 12, matric class of 2020. We've given you wonderful opportunities of the last 5 years. I hope you've taken advantage of them. But as you embark on this new journey of discovery, may the years ahead be the fulfillment of years of hard work, grounded by your values, and may the rewards be a true acknowledgement of what you've achieved. We wish each and every one of you God's richest blessings as you close this door of high school and open the adjoining door to the rest of your life. To the matric class of 2020, on behalf of the school, farewell and Godspeed.
Good morning, staff, viewers, and honorable guests, matriculants of 2020. It goes without saying that this year has been one of hardships and harsh circumstances that was clearly beyond our control. We have sometime or another this year fought harsh battles. And what we should remember is that, is to take things slowly, day by day, and not to rush your progress, as we are all diverse individuals and deal with things differently. It has been a tradition in the Setters High School for many years now, in which the present matric class and staff present a gift or some sort of memorabilia to the school. As we all know, writing an exam is already stressful enough, and sometimes it's really difficult to keep track of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, the matric committee and staff this year has decided to replace the inaccurate analog clock with a beautiful new digital clock. So, those days of squinting are a thing of the past. I would just like lastly to deliver a special thank you to all coordinating graders and staff involved in making today extremely memorable, despite the trying circumstances and challenges that we have all faced this year. Lastly, the Matric Committee of 2020 would like to leave you with this memorable quote by Mr. Emil Damunser. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Thank you. Hello, Mommy.
there comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
There are people dying. Oh, it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all.
We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change.
We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need.
We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
Oh, send them your heart, so they know that someone cares, so their cries for help will not be in vain.
We can't let them suffer. No, we cannot turn away right now. They need a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all.
But if you just believe, there's no way we can fall.
Just realize, oh,
That change can only come when we stand together as one, together as one. We are the world, we are the children, one. So let's start giving.
wow, there's a choice.
We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day for you and me. The children, the children, the children.
It is my genuine pleasure to greet you as a collective for the last time. So let me take this opportunity to greet Mrs. Khali, Mr. Smart, Mrs. Hall, and you matric class of 2020. Have the words Happy New Year ever sounded traumatizing? Well, now they do. 2020 was at most the most peculiar year of the current century. If one is still oblivious to that fact, it takes one news channel to take them out of oblivion. It challenged us, it broke us, but in a beautiful, paradoxical way, it built us. In building us, it is where we find ourselves here today. So 2016 was the year musical classics dropped. Bad and Bougie, Controller, the likes, the list goes on and on. So by nature or by coincidence, we dropped here that same year too. By virtue of dropping here in 2016, we will also be remembered as classics. Oversized blazers on small bodies was the order of the day, and no one can say that they did not have an oversized blazer once. Amongst other things, one of the most fundamental aspects of life I learned within these walls, that we are people not because we are human beings, but because we need each other to prosper. Interschools is one but very relevant example. The road to prosperity is not a selfish one, but it is a selfless one. And it is here where I want to appreciate our companions on this road. In absentia, our parents. It is your good intentions and knowing what is best for us, which has given us a platform to rise, which has saved us on countless times. And if by any means we have been able to see how bright our future is, it is because we rest on the shoulders of our parents. So in absentia, here's to the parents. The future belongs to the youth, an age-old phrase which has hindered young people from cementing themselves in society. I say it is a hindrance because it allows complacency within the youth. We have to do away with this rhetoric because the future is now and it has never been so nearer. As a youth in this country, ours is characterized by violence and reckless behavior, which manifests itself later into a broken society. It is therefore now why we have to take up the mantle. If we want to build a better society, we have to build it now. If we want to take risks, we have to risk now. If we want to live, we have to live now because nothing is more important than the moment you are living in. Claim your space and watch yourself blossom. We are the now, and the now is here. By no means I'm saying that life is easy, though. The most difficult journey of life is life itself. More so in these times where the world lacks a more humanitarian face, where it lacks love. Let this fire that we have, this fire, this passion to make our country a better place, let it not be extinguished. This fire to add and contribute to the socio-economic and socio-political discourse of our country. Let it not be extinguished by complacency or by society's irregular standards, but let it burn, and let it burn fiercely and illuminate this dark world. I challenge you to live life to the fullest, for by living life to the fullest, you will be fulfilling your heart's desires. So fulfill your dream, Kid H, future SA rap icon. Fulfill your dream, Jamie Lang, future baseball SA champion. Fulfill your dreams, Sisanda and Asanda Madwai, future directors and theater producers. To each and everyone here watching, I dare you to fulfill your dreams. Your narrative is yours alone, so be a good narrator and make your story a good story to tell. To the friendships I have made along the way, I cherish each and every one of them. To all the friendships and relationships here, let them not wither into time. Let them not wither into nothingness through time, but through time, let them grow and flourish into lifelong friendships of companionship. Our story is not yet complete, matric class of 2020, so we dare not linger. The future is well within our grasp. It is up to us to grab it with both hands. We are developed and we are yet to reach our final form. So when we go out, let us add and contribute to building and developing South Africa. In my capacity as the chairperson of the Representative Council of Learners, and in my personal capacity as a learner here at the Settlers High School, I, Mafuza Fulele Njengeli Fulemvula Atim Funele. I humbly thank you for 5 years of leadership, of service, of companionship, and of love. Thank you.
Before I start this speech, I would like to just give a quick disclaimer. The first quote that I use, it is a bit harsh, but I make up for it later on in the speech. I'm just saying, okay. When I came here 5 years ago and I saw everyone for the first time, I thought to myself, if idiots could fly, this would be an airport. 5 years later, I still think the exact same thing. But this does not often happen. I stand corrected. I would like to start this speech with a few thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for all these blessings that He has bestowed in my life. Secondly, I would like to thank my parents and each parent or guardian who has supported and given their all to getting each of us to this point. Thirdly, to the teaching staff, amenity staff, and administration staff, we thank you for all your hard work and dedication. To the prefect body, thank you for your dedication, perseverance, and support during our term of service. Now, to the reason why we're here. Matrix, to be honest with you, I had no idea what I wanted to say to you. I did not understand how I couldn't write anything, nothing. I had absolutely no idea how to write you this goodbye message until I realized it's because I didn't want to say goodbye. How do you say goodbye to the place that brought you the good, the bad, and the ugly? Introduced you to Pringle, Bain, and Shaw, that brought home the Spirit Trophy 4 years in a row, the place where some of the best dancers, vocalists, actors, and sportsmen are bred. Where we made memories like that group of boys that always said, nah, Owens, we're not getting the rest for FZ. And then actually getting the rest for FZ and getting 100% for Cooper. Must be nice. Or the, can I get a Hoya in the passages? Or even enduring Mr. Nongi's math papers and the abbreviations in Mrs. Khali's allo paper. To the place that brought us Lanky Brief, 1X, tablets that we hardly used, musicals, box cart, and the place that introduced us to our second parents, your home away from home, to the place where you found your family. Through our schooling lives, it was always about what adds value to us, throwing ourselves into academics so we could get into the best universities, or into sports to get that sports scholarship. Some of us may have forgotten our own value. Heading into a big wide world where it's not about what we can do for you, but rather what you can do for us. It is beautifully summed up in a quote that says, these days, all I do is wonder, sorry, wrong quote. These days, people know the price of everything, but know the value of nothing. When heading out there, add value to others' lives, give back all you have learned, and be an inspiration to others. Whatever happens after this, know that I am proud of you, and that you are not truly defined by the 7 or 8 digits on that piece of paper. The matric class of 2020 are truly what they think they are. Brilliant, excellent, tough, and some of the greatest people I will ever know. This year proved that you can accomplish anything. Never let anything or anybody in this world get in the way of something you really want. I would like to conclude this speech with the lines I started my prefect career with. My name is Fagan Lenting. I'm a message sent, but still sending. This ain't my life, this body I'm renting. The real question is, who you representing? It has always been a pleasure, but not a joy. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Danielle Corrales, and yes, that's how you pronounce it. And just look, so on the first page of your pamphlet, if you look right at the bottom, there's a name there. I just want you guys to know it's not a copy, it's an accent. So, as I finish one of my lifelong struggles, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I believe I am a chronic procrastinator. Proof, I wrote this speech this morning. But let me redeem myself. I actually had a speech planned about a week ago, but where I was going to grab your attention and shock you with an opening quote about thug life from Tupac. And I was going to explain really philosophically and give you a lengthy rambling about why being young is so important. But it just didn't feel right. And I couldn't understand why. I was so passionate about it. I wanted you guys to know something. I wanted you to know that you were worth it. And then I remembered that I don't think that's what Valedictory is about to me. It's never been about me. Valedictory has always been about us as a grade. It's been about celebrating us and the triumphs and the fails we've had while we've been here. It's about those tough times in grade 8. HV, if you know, you know. It's about making waves. Still, 9FP was the best class I was ever in. It was about getting to meet who I thought would be my 3-year family in grade 10, with our mommy MC Grammar, her 30-something kids, the step kids and the extras. And then 2020 happened. What can I say? It's always us. Whether it was too it was too loud or noisy in assembly, it was us, no matter what grade. When it felt like it was always us cleaning up and these new grade 8s don't get a chance to know the hardships that we had. When it came down to having fights over benches, why was it us? We even had our fair share of protests. But you know what? I realize that we've become stronger because of it. I've become stronger because of it. And I've really learned to love the person that I am today, and it's because of you. And I'd like to thank a few people specifically. To all the basketball and netball teams I've been in throughout the year, thank you for being the very few people to see me exercise and for making it fun. And now that I'm just looking at someone in the crowd, thank you for coming to 3 practices and playing every match. And then to the... to the Culinary Society, thank you for teaching me responsibility and sharing. To the choir, thank you for teaching me what it's like to do your best even when it feels like you're a drop in the ocean. And for teaching me the greatest lesson in balance when someone was getting in trouble and Mr. Spas was shouting at them. Thank you to Fagan for actually being on the same wavelength as me whenever we did our speeches like 20 minutes before the time. Yes, guys, every single speech we did, we started 20 minutes before the time. And if we wanted to impress someone, we did it the night before. I guess procrastination is contagious. Thank you to the exec, Kunkel and Joy, for always having my back. And to the prefects for being the most difficult group of people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And it was really a pleasure getting to know you guys and getting to learn so much from you. And I can truthfully stand here and say, I love you! Thanks. Thanks to Mafu for being so supportive when I was in the RCL last year and welcoming me with open arms, and for always making me feel like I needed a dictionary whenever he was coming up here to speak. Thank you to the RCL for their support when we had that bake sale one time this year, and for providing all the small change for reasons I will not mention. Thank you to all my family, my enormous family, for all the support and all the advice they've given me throughout the years. Thank you to my friends for being there for me, for giving me acceptance when it felt like I didn't fit in, for giving me advice out of nowhere when it felt like my life was crumbling, and for letting me be a kid when it felt like everything told me to be mature. You guys meant everything to me. And I mean like this for everyone I've ever met as well. I think it's a really huge responsibility and a courageous thing to do to talk to a weirdo like me. So thanks for talking to me. To all the classmates I've ever had, keep doing what you're doing. Keep arguing for that 1 mark in accounting. I was one of those people, just by the way. Always talking in the back in English, always being on your tablet. And for all the jokes you've had throughout the years, thanks to all the teachers, the people who actually wake up in the morning wanting to see our faces. Thanks to all my teachers specifically, not just for teaching me lessons, because I actually get really frustrated with schoolwork, and if you know me, you know why. But thank you for all the lessons you've given us in life, and thank you for actually sitting through my interrogations, every single lesson. You guys did really well. Thank you to my parents. Daddy, thank you for teaching me to be selfless and to have a strong mind. Mommy, thank you for teaching me to have a thick skin and a kind heart. You guys have done more than anyone has ever done for me. You've given me a strong foundation. I thank you, and I don't know how much more I can say. And to you guys, the last thank you. Thank you for getting to know me and for giving me a chance to get to know you. I don't know if I can spruce this up and put nice flowers or whatever beautiful words around it, but the only way I can really, truly tell you guys what you mean to me is by some weird beliefs that I have. So I believe everyone has a predestined fate. I believe that everything we do, we were meant to do. So I believe that as we sit here, being the class of 2020, it was meant to be this way. We were meant to live through 2020, through a pandemic. We were meant to meet, and we are meant to be great. I'd like to end off with this. I think we can all feel the winds of change coming. So don't be afraid to make a wave, because it's only after the biggest storm that the rainbow is the most beautiful. Thank you.
This is it. I'm going to ask you all to stand and get ready to sing the school song. Let's settle down. Let's all stand up straight. Before we sing the school song, just a reminder that you must please continue to stand after we've completed singing the song.
before I do the benediction, if I can just remind you, once we finish the benediction, if you can remain standing, the stage party will leave, and then you can follow the stage party to the Freedom Bell, starting from row L. Can we just bow our heads for the benediction? God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings protecting hide you, with his arms unfailing guide you. God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils thick enfold you, by his counsel's guide uphold you. Matrix of 2020, God be with you till we meet again.
later. From you? From you? Can I do one more?
No, ma'am. Leila and I, and then Simone and the rest. Thank you.
Simone?